So the internet says the M&P 2.0 is a serious duty gun. I said, all right, and I bought it, I lubed it, I threw it, I shot it. I buried it in sand and clay. And the M&P 2.0, well, it had some feelings about that. Roll tape. We got a failure to feed right off the bat on this one. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Grumpy Paratrooper, a 27-year combat arms vet and way too many hours of dealing with gear that doesn't actually work when you need it to. This episode of Grumpy Gauntlet is the Smith Wesson 2.0. Woohoo! Now let's be clear. I'm not here to bash this gun. I bought it and I shot it. I actually like how it feels in the hand. So my question's simple. If you're going to put this on your hip for duty or carry and things go sideways, does it keep working after it gets abused? Well, that's what the Grumpy Gauntlet is for. My baseline's a Glock, the good old boring Honda Civic of violence. That thing's been chugging with sand in its teeth and hate in its heart. The M&P doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough to trust when your life's not on a flat range. I'm not trying to break guns for reviews. I'm trying to see if it behaves like something I'd actually trust. Can it shoot normally without making me grumpier than usual? My wife sure does hope so. If you're new here, I'm the Grumpy Paratrooper. I don't just rub my meat grabbers on these duty guns and get some shots and call it a review. I actually punish them. If you want more honest, unscientific tests like this, where guns get dirty and feelings get hurt, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't have to miss the next Grumpy Gauntlet. And if you want to help keep these tests going, ammo, targets, and all of it, grab a Grumpy Paratrooper PVC patch. Ooh, that's nice. Or you can grab a sticker. That's nice too. And that really helps out. Or throw me a super thanks. Slap it on your range bag or gun safe and you're officially part of the Bad Decision Science team. Alright, let's see what this M&P can actually handle. The M&P 2.0 is cleaned, lubed, and loaded with 115 grain Fiocchi Range Max loaded magazines. What I'm looking for here is simple. Reliability out of the box, how it recoils, and it was fine, not too snappy. How it points, and it pointed well, better than average ergonomics. And whether the trigger makes me happy or if it makes me start writing counseling statements, and counseling statements were in order here. Not the best trigger, though I have shot the M&P 2.0 Performance, and that trigger is fine as a frog's hair. If it can't pass this, it's going straight to the Grumpy Scale penalty box. Alright, let's go ahead and take this Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 and shoot it clean. Alright, clean run. No drama, no malfunctions. The M&P did exactly what it's supposed to do when life's easy. Ergonomics, honestly pretty solid. The grip feels good, points natural, and it's not a bad shooter. Trigger's fine, not a match gun, not a total disaster, just serviceable. If all you ever did was stand on a flat range and punch paper and post target pics, you'd probably walk away very happy with this gun. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the I tripped over some tanglefoot and went face down in the dirt, and now my pistol's full of the local terrain. So next phase, Airborne Qualification. Now it's time for the toss test. This is not a scientific, lab-approved, ISO-certified control condition drop rig. This is real-life went sideways testing. The pistol gets tossed around a handful of times, not from 300 feet, not launched out of an 81mm mortar, just throws that simulate, you tripping, you getting knocked down, gun coming out of your holster and kissing the dirt, whatever could possibly happen to you there. After that, we pick it up and immediately try to run 2 mags. What I want to see is, will it chamber normally? Will it run without consistent malfunctions? Do I trust it after a not perfect day? I'm not asking it to like this. I'm just asking it to survive it. Let's see how the M&P 2.0 handles some airborne time. Now it's time for the, light torture here. We're going to do durability testing with the M&P 2.0. So we're going to see what this thing does after we throw it around, and we'll inspect it. We're going to fire 2 mags out of it before we get to the real test with the sand and clay. I believe that was 10. M&P 2.0. Just do this thing around 10 times, threw it up in the air. It's got its airborne wings now, and we'll go ahead and see how this thing does. We're gonna drop 2 mags through it before we get to the sand and clay test here. Oh. Oh. Well, this one didn't make it past that. Already got a failure here. You can see in there. All right, let's see how this does. It was a failure to feed. Failure to feed again. We had mag luck back on that one. So we had some failures to feed here on the M&P 2.0 here. But it did fire that second mag fine, so it did good there. All right, let's go ahead and see what this thing will do in the sand and clay. Ooh. So here's where things got interesting. After the tosses, the M&P 2.0 did not love life. On that first magazine, we started seeing failures to feed. The gun was just purring along. It wasn't choking like it was on the casting couch. The second mag ran better after it shook off a little. That still doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy about the reliability under stress. From a this is on my belt and I'm responsible for people's lives standpoint, that's a problem. And this is only phase 2. We haven't even introduced the sand and clay spa treatment yet, so let's move to the mean part. If this is the kind of pain you like watching guns go through, do me a favor. Subscribing helps more than anything right now. And if you want to directly support this kind of abuse, there's Grumpy Paratrooper patches and stickers down in the description. I'm already living on ramen and shame to keep this channel fed. Now let's take this from a had a bad day to full dirt nap and see what happens. We buried the M&P in a mix of sand and clay. Let's get it fully choked up. This is where the serious duty pistols separate themselves, not in a gun store glass case. And if the gun can work after this, I'll start trusting it. If it can't, I don't care how nice the ergos are, but let's watch what happened. All right, it's time. It's time to get this thing nasty into sand and clay. See what happens to it. We already had some failures here with this thing just from throwing it around for durability testing. So let's go ahead and get it, see what happens. Oh. All right, the M&P 2.0, the clay and sand mud master. All right, let's go ahead and see how this thing does. Oh, no, we got a failure to feed right off the bat on this one. And we got us a fine failure to eject. It's like a half stovepipe, quarter stovepipe. Failure to load. Double feed. Oh man. All right, we finally got it to work. Second mag. I think this one's gonna do good now that it's cleaned itself out there. Oh man, failed to lock back here. All right, failed to lock back, but that's all right. So it finally shot both the mags. We had some issues there with it in the beginning. I couldn't hardly get this thing to load. I did have to kick some sand out of this thing a bunch and rack it out a lot. So it didn't totally stop it, but it sure didn't make it at first. And man, it is nasty in there too. All right, M&P 2.0 fails to beat the Glock. Yeah, well, the M&P did not have a good time in the sand and clay. We saw failures to feed, failures to eject, including stovepipe behavior. The slide struggling to go back into battery. I had to work the slide, knock out the sand, and basically fight the gun to get it to run. Now, to its credit, it eventually did, and we did get both magazines cleared. It did not completely quit, but it did not behave like something I'd call duty grade after that level of contamination. Again, I'm not here to scream trash the gun for clicks. I'm just here to tell you what I saw. Good. After some tosses, shaky. After some sand and clay, it struggled hard and needed a lot of help. Let's put that into the Grumpy scale. On the highly unscientific, absolutely non-NATO mil-spec approved testing, the Grumpy scale, we're going to look at the reliability, ergonomics, shootability, abuse tolerance on the M&P. Honestly, it's strong. It feels good. It points well. It's easy to shoot when clean, but reliability under the Grumpy Gauntlet, clean phase, pass. Toss, pass. Barely passing, but got a counseling statement. Sand and clay, it technically completed the event, but needed remedial PT after that performance. So on the Grumpy scale for duty carry after abuse, this particular M&P 2.0 comes in at, I'd call it a range grade performer, not my first choice for serious work. Now Glock baseline, does this beat a Glock in the Grumpy Gauntlet? For me, nope. Nope, it does not. My Glocks have taken this kind of abuse and kept running with fewer complaints. That doesn't mean the M&P is junk. It means under this exact test on this exact day, this gun didn't hang at the same level. So would the M&P 2.0 pass inspection for serious use in my world? Casual range days? Yes. Training gun, where you want nice ergos, a comfortable shooter? Yes. Something I had to someone and say, this will run after being dropped and buried? Not based on what I saw. If you own one and love it, keep shooting it. Train with it. Train with it like your life depends on it, because one day it might. Just understand what we did here and make your own decision about what role it plays. I'm not telling you how to spend your highly taxed money that's been taxed before it was taxed. I'm just showing you what happened. If you want more honest, no sugarcoat tests like this where guns actually get dirty and feelings get hurt, gun and gear reviews without shill factor, hit that subscribe button for me and ring the bell so you don't miss the next Grumpy Gauntlet or gear gun review. I've got more pistols coming up in the Can It Beat a Glock series, and some of them do better than this one, some do worse. Again, I chose the Glock as a baseline because it's worked well for me over these tests. I'll have some guns and gear reviews in between until the end of the series, so drop a comment. Did the M&P 2.0 run like a champ in the dirt? Did you have any issues? Or are you in the Glock may be boring but it works camp? I'm the Grumpy Paratrooper. Let me punish stuff so you can take care of your gear and it can take care of you. If it can't, I'll show you on camera. Stay safe, stay frosty, and we will catch you in the next one. Grumpy out.